Kansas men's basketball head coaches, a lot of them have really good success here. And because of that success, they stay pretty long. But the real question on a lot of people's minds are, what were their best and worst seasons on the sideline? Well, that's where I come in, because I did all the research for you and put it into a video. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Drew, better known as RockChalk01, and in this video, I'm going to go through every KU men's basketball head coach's best and worst season while they were on the KU sideline. Before I get started, I do want to apologize because I've been back calling baseball games again this summer, and it has kind of fluctuated with my YouTube schedule, and I haven't been able to upload regularly, and I apologize for that. So at least I got one now for you. But back to the idea at hand, I thought this would be pretty interesting because I know a lot of people give head coaches flack for one bad season, and in reality, it probably isn't the worst one that they've had, or they get pissed off at a season that in retrospect could be their greatest. And that goes with Kansas men's basketball head coaches as well. And yeah, this is going to be short because only 8 men have been the head man at Kansas in their 126-year history now, which is beyond belief. Now, this is not going to be a ranking video because this would take more man hours and more math, and my head already hurts from it. So I'm going to go through every coach and do it chronologically, so starting from James Naismith all the way to Bill Self, and give you their worst season and their best season and what they somewhat accomplished within those years. But yeah, with all that said, let me know in the comments which years surprised you as their worst and best. But without further ado, here we go. To begin this, we start with the first coach, James Naismith. And yeah, he is the only coach in KU history with a losing record. And one of his worst teams, oh, they were pretty bad. And that was in 1901 when the team went a mere 4-8. That's a 33.3 win percentage. But 2 years earlier was his best. That was 1899. That team went an impressive 7-4 with a 63.6 win percentage. The next coach we'll be looking at is William O. Hamilton, and he coached the Jayhawks for 10 seasons with some success. But when his team stunk, they stunk bad. And boy, his worst team was in 1916 when that team went 6-12, a win percentage of 33.3%, and finished 4th in the Missouri Valley. But his best was really stinking good. That was 1910, his first team, when that team went 18-1, a win percentage of 94.7%, and that team won the Missouri Valley Conference. The next coach we'll be looking at is the longest tenured and winningest coach in KU's history, Phog Allen. The 39-year career, along with 590 wins, puts you in the spot as one of the best coaches of all time. But Dr. Allen had some stinker seasons, his worst being 1929, when that year's squad went 3-15, a 16.7 win percentage, and finished tied for last in the Big Six. His best, you can almost take your pick. I mean, 1952 has something to say, but it actually was 1923 when that year's squad went 17-1, a 94.4 win percentage, won the Missouri Valley Conference, and won their second straight national championship. The fourth Kansas head men's basketball coach was Dick Harp, the successor to Phog Allen. And although he had some pretty good teams, his time at KU was a bit mediocre with a few stinker seasons. His worst being in 1962, when that year's squad went a horrible 7-18, a 28% win percentage, and was tied for last in the Big Eight. But his best team was without a doubt his best team, and that was 1957, his first team, when that squad went 24-3, a win percentage of 88.9%. They won the Big Seven title, went to the Final Four, and made it to the national championship game before losing to North Carolina in triple overtime. The next man up is Ted Owens. He has the third longest tenure in KU's history, along with the fourth most wins. He has had some stinker seasons, but he has had some really good success. His worst squad was in 1973, when the team went 8-18, a win percentage of 30.7%, and finished 7th in the Big 8. But his best team was really, really good. That was 1971. That year's squad went 27-3, a 90% win percentage. They won the Big 8 conference and made it to the Final Four before falling to the eventual national champion, UCLA. The next head man up has the shortest tenure in KU's history as head coach. That's Larry Brown. He spent 5 seasons at KU before moving on to the NBA. In fact, all his teams had an above 500 record. So, in a way, a lot of them were successful, but sadly, his worst was in 1987. That year's team went 25-11, a win percentage of 69.4%, was tied for second in the Big 8, and made it to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament. His best team, you would think it's 1988, but actually it was 1986. That year's squad went an impressive 35-4, a win percentage of 89.7%. They won the Big 8 tournament and went to a Final Four before eventually losing to the runner-up, Duke. The next head coach is one of the most successful head coaches in college basketball history, Roy Williams. The fourth longest tenured coach and third most in victories, Roy Williams had some incredible teams, but he only has had one stinker, and that was in 1989. That year's squad went 19-12 with a 61.2 win percentage and finished 6th in the Big 8. You can take your pick on his best squads. 2002 makes a case, 2003 makes a case, but it's actually 1997. That year's squad went 34-2, a win percentage of 94.4%, won the first ever Big 12 conference title, and made it all the way to the Sweet 16 before falling to the eventual national champion, Arizona. And finally, the road ends with the current head coach, Bill Self. Self is the second longest tenured and the second winningest coach in KU's history. In fact, all of his teams so far have won 20-plus games every single year. But sadly, his worst team was a couple seasons ago, back in 2021, when that year's squad went 21-9, finished with a 70% win percentage, finished second in the Big 12, and went all the way to the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament. His best team, you could almost take your pick, but it's clear as daylight, it's 2008. That year's squad went an impressive 37-3. That is the most wins in school history. A 92.5 win percentage, won the Big 12 regular season crown, won the Big 12 tournament crown, went all the way to the Final Four, and won his first national championship at Kansas, beating Memphis in overtime. And that's going to do it for me going through every single KU men's basketball head coach's best and worst seasons at KU. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Also, leave a like, share, and subscribe, and push that notification bell, and tell your friends about these videos. And I should see you again when the next one comes out. But until then, have a good day. Never ever bring exotic dancers to the field house, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.